Hi, I'm Lynette Xanders of Wild Alchemy. I am a brand strategist. I am a qualitative researcher, workshop facilitator, cultural recalibrator, and an author. I've worked for some of the biggest and best brands and agencies in the world, like Adidas, E&J Gallo, ServiceNow. I found many tips and tricks, best practices, and I'm going to share those with you today. I'd like to give you a high-level overview of alignment workshops. And what I mean by that are gatherings, facilitated gatherings with a team that helps everybody get on the same page, where we pinky swear and move forward together. There are different kinds of alignment workshops. And I've got different examples for you, but when I debrief on research, I tend to book an alignment workshop right after that. Could only be an hour and a half long. But it helps with, hey, we just learned all this stuff. What are we gonna do about it? So it keeps research from sitting on a shelf, going, oh yeah, we did that ages ago. I did another type of workshop would be I did for Adidas, which was pretty funny because they were like, they're all going to be on their phones and they're all going to come and go. And I was like, that's not going to work. So we did it on a boat with no Wi-Fi and they loved it. But it was just, we have to be here present in this moment, at least just for a moment. And that workshop was around, what do we think is our best work? What do we wish we could have done better or differently, and what do each of you need in order to do your best work? So that was alignment on kind of culture, a little trust, and a little idiosyncrasies, and a little process. I've done an alignment workshop with architectural firms on coming before their strategic planning session on what kind of work do we want more of, what case studies do we have to kind of show that we can do that, and what do we not want more of, so lions, horses, and dogs, so that we can attract the kind of work that we want. And again, if you focus on the things that you don't want, you're going to get it. I have a friend of mine that started an ad agency, and the only thing he wrote down was no law firms, and his first 5 clients were law firms. So focus on what you do want, not on what you don't want. As far as an alignment workshop goes, I think knowing the purpose is obviously important. Getting on everybody's calendars at the beginning of the process. So if you're like a month or so ahead, make sure you kind of can set that up and everybody knows that it's critical and that they have to be there. I do no tech, so no laptops in the room, no phones on. They can break if they need to, but you're not going to sit there and multitask. Changes the whole vibe of everything. And when you have your computers up, it's like this firewall between you and everybody else, and you're trying to share. If we're doing it remote, cameras on required, and no multitasking. It's just a pinky swear that we have so that we are there in the moment. And that we use the chat wisely, so people can't just put emojis as people are talking. But if you have a question, if you have an ad, you put it in there, and then somebody moderates or manages so that they're read and questions are brought forward and things of that nature. So it tends to be a bit of a info sharing or skill sharing, and then a breakout, so that different groups, I think getting them to talk about it is as important as getting the information. So groups talk about it, they come back, they report back. If we have differences of opinion, that's the time that we talk about it and we get it resolved. It's not always consensus. My rule of thumb is that we make an informed decision, and once the decision is made, everybody's got to get on board and we're done rehashing, so no rehashing. If we don't talk about it in that moment, what's going to happen? Everybody's going to go off and do their work, and they're going to do it a little bit differently in the way that they've decided is the right way. And that's fragmentation. And that's when things fall apart. That's when companies become siloed. When work becomes fragmented. It's when people become disengaged. So this is all about the glue. This is creating the glue. And that glue gets created around information. So it could be we're aligning on lifts and drains culturally. We're aligning on the brief. We're aligning on customer information. We're aligning on what we want to put out into the world and what kind of work we want more of. So anything that you need to be aligned on is not going to happen in a 60-minute meeting. And it has to be, you have to design information to bring people along to get them to a collective point. Otherwise, what I've heard, I've sat in on so many leadership team meetings where it's a spin of conversation. Nobody's recapping what the points of view are. Nobody's making the decision. Nobody's deciding who's doing what next by when. So you're going to have that meeting a dozen times. And it's going to make everybody crazy. So I have done hundreds of alignment workshops, all a little bit different. But I think the key is to have an outside facilitator. I am the one that can be the pointy little stick, keep people moving. I can call people out for bad behavior. I can say, this is where we agree and this is where we don't agree, and who owns this decision. Okay, we're going to move this forward. Oftentimes it's like moderating a focus group. I've got to call on the quiet people first. The question I usually get from the most senior person in the room is, what's my role? Which is brilliant. If you're not asking, you should. And invariably, I will say, your job is to go last. So practice. Everybody else gets to go first. So they don't go, oh yeah, what he said, oh, or she said. So listen to different points of view, pay attention to how people are showing up or not showing up. And then at some point, you might have to make a call and make the decision and stick with it. But I mean, I've never had a fist fight. I've never had anybody storm out. I've only had happy tears. I think people really enjoy getting clarity. Even if it's not what they wanted to do, they're being seen, they're being heard, they are part of a team as opposed to fighting from their outside perspective. Tools that you can use in workshops. I'm a big fan of, even if you're doing this remote, I would have a Miro board. There's something about capturing key themes that everybody can see so that they can riff on it as we go. I think giving a pre-read is helpful. Again, letting people sit with information for a minute. I think being very clear on the question that they need to resolve during the breakout. So Oregon Humane Society gave them all this new information about their audience. And the big question was, what do we do about it? Like, how do we change our behavior and our communications to step into this new reality and make the most of it? And we broke people into groups that were not typical groups, so they couldn't all just hang together with their their satellite office people or people in their specific department. Like, it was all about getting cross-pollination and getting them to talk to people in other departments. But I'm going to say that the biggest aha was that they were so much more aligned than they thought they were. And this came from them. Like, everybody kind of came back, and with no cheating, they had a lot of the same information. And that alone was 90% of getting them bought in to the idea that they could change and that this was going to be successful and that they were part of a team they were all wanted the same things. And that, it can't be dictated and it can't be top down and it's not going to come in an email. It is getting them to do the math themselves, and people protect what they help build. So if you create situations where they can help build it together, it's going to save you eons of meetings and emails and recaps and all the spin that is pretend work and not real work. I would love to facilitate alignment workshops for you. I would be happy to talk you through how to set yours up and make the most of it. So if you want to shoot me a note, shoot me a note. I have courses and videos and booklets and all the things at wildalchemy.com. So if you want more, come get more. Thanks.